pull up. All right, we are recording the first table read for the I, David production. We do have a few more folks that are going to be coming in, but we want to go ahead and get started. I'm going to go ahead and flip the screen. Wait a minute. Before I do that, I'm going to meet with everybody individually. And by the way, I'm going to be sharing this video with everyone eventually, so no one will be left behind. Here's our reigning David. Frank Douglas. I'm going to be sharing with everyone. I guess I'll wait till he comes on for real, for real. There he is. Are you eating an apple, Cameron?
A pear.
A pear. Okay. Okay. That'll work. That'll work. Good. Healthy stuff. That's good. Hi, Minister Douglas.
Hello, hello. Can you hear me?
I can. I can. How are you?
I am doing well. Yourself?
Good. Good. We are recording right now, so thank you for coming on. And I was just getting ready to let everybody know that I will be meeting with everyone individually in regards to contracts. There is one contract that I need everybody to sign. It will give more details in terms of the expectations and all of that for the production. But tonight we're just going to read the script and then we can go from there. I trust that everybody is, good people on here, but we still need to take care of the business part. I was expecting someone else to come on that is not going to be in the play, but is going to be kind of shadowing us. And hopefully he'll be on a little bit later. But in the meantime, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen so that I can get the play up and we all can read it while we're on the screen. Can everybody see that? I hope I can. Let me see if I can. Is that visible enough for everyone?
Yes, ma'am, I can see.
All right. Can everybody see that? Everybody good?
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
trying to
Yes.
make it big so I can see it because I had
Okay. How's that?
Hmm.
That's kind of too big. All right. So there are 8 scenes in this. Herb, you and Tyrone are going to start out with this. You all have 5 different scenes that you're going to be in. And the first scene and the last scene are, of course, the opening and the close is going to be your shining star, if you will. The introduction to this play and then the closing of the play is going to end a little uniquely. So definitely pay attention to that. Tyrone will be on, but he's coming in from work. So therefore, and that's why he's not on right now, but he should be coming on soon. I would like to meet with the two of you anyway before we start doing main rehearsals because you guys have a lot of the lines. So I really would like to meet with you and Tyrone separately real soon. I'm looking at are you available the 14th of October?
Let me check my calendar right now. What is
Okay.
this?
That's a Monday, same time at 7. If that's a date that you and Tyrone and I can meet, that will be our first time working together, on this particular, on you guys' part.
Okay.
Yeah. So target that date for right now, and then we'll see what Tyrone says, and then we'll go from there a little bit before we close tonight.
All right.
All right. So let's go ahead. We're going to go ahead and skip to 2 since Kendall is on. So I'm going to go ahead and let him now. Kendall, you read pretty well, right? Oh, he's freezing a little bit. Can you see it?
Yes, ma'am. I just had
Okay.
to zoom in a little bit.
Okay, you're freezing a little bit. All right, so you remember this part where you run in and you're chasing your father in your father's field, you're chasing the sheep, and then you hear the sheep say bah, and then what do you say?
Yeah. Oh, come here, silly Billy.
Okay, you're gonna run after the sheep, you stop to smell the fresh air, and then you say,
You can't fool me. I'll get you. You there, there you are.
Okay, say it again.
You can't fool me. I'll get you. There you are.
Okay, so you remember like before? Okay, so you're going to pick up the sheep, you're going to rub it, and you're going to kind of talk to it. There you are. It's okay. Okay. All right, so you're going to kind of calm him down a little bit and, because you've been running and chasing and trying to get him and what have you. Okay. So then I want you to say this part. This is next.
You'll be okay. I got you. You. Just like God's got me.
Mm-hmm.
See, sheep,
Mm-hmm.
he's my shield and my strength. He protects me and I'll protect you. Now you can play over here.
Okay, so you're going to place that sheep gently and in another spot, and you're going to move to the center and look up and raise your hands. And you're going to say,
God, my God, you help me every day
there
to
you go.
care for my father's sheep.
Mhm.
I bless you and thank you for your love. You are my God. I will do my best to follow you all the day, all of my days.
Okay, so we're going to practice tightening it up a little bit, but that's your line, and you're going to hold your hands up while you're saying that. You're going to turn around, you're going to notice there's something moving in the bushes, and you're going to say,
What is that? Sheep? Are you okay?
nah. You're going to hear that sound, and then
I'm coming, sheep. I'll find you.
okay, and then you're going to run toward the sheep and you're going to swing your arms and struggle like you did before. And you're going to hear rah, and then you're going to say, whoops.
Not, oh,
You remember that?
nothing will bother my father's sheep.
And then you're going to pull out that jawbone and you're going to look amazed, stare at it, and and then you're going to say,
Wow.
there you go. Okay. Puts it down and quickly comes to pick up the sheep. The scared sheep calms it down. Bah, it's going to do it again. And then you're going to say to the sheep,
See, it's okay. I told you I would protect you. I'm going I'm going to pra- prac- practice with my sling now.
yes.
You can go back with your friends.
Okay. All right. We'll tighten that up and picks up the sling and pretends to shoot the target. Hold on just a second. All right. And then you're going to hear another sound and then pick up the sling and pretends to shoot and target it. And you hear another sound and you say again,
What is that?
what is that? And then you see it, and it's gonna say, rah, it's gonna be the bear. And then you're gonna say again,
Nothing will bother my father's sheep.
there you go. Love that drama. And then slowly you rise from the bushes, holding it up in the sky in victory, and hold up that hairy arm and the jawbone. And you're gonna say,
My God, I thank you for allowing me to kill a lion and a bear
mm-hmm.
to protect the sheep one more time.
Yep.
David, will follow you forever.
You look at that sheep and then you pick that sheep up and you say, what?
Sheep, you've had a busy day today. Let me feed you so we can take a break.
All right. That's your part. Okay. So you remember a lot of that. So thank you so much. So we're going to let you take a break for tonight, but I'm going to get with your mom and your dad and give them their the contract for you, okay? All right, so
Yes, ma'am.
you can hang on for just a second and we'll go on with the rest of the play. I'm waiting for Zipporah so she can do it. All right, so Cameron, it's your time now. I'm going to highlight the parts that you're going to read. And then we will hopefully have some other, then we'll do Frank's part. I think that comes up after yours. All right, so scene 4, David is now a young teenager. There's a few other people in this scene, but we're gonna just pretend because you're the only one talking. So we'll go from there. All right, so you walk in, you're sweaty with spotted clothes, and we're gonna see 7 brothers or 6 brothers. Actually, some say 7 and David makes 8, but there's controversy on that. But anyway, we're gonna have a few guys standing in a straight line, and they're dressed very well in their very nice vestments, but you're just coming from working with the sheep all day, and he's going to call you. You're going to hear, I don't have it written here, but you're going to hear, David, and it's going to be your father. And your father, I got a trivia question. Do you know who David's father was? What was his name? Trivia. Jesse. That was his name. Okay.
Yes.
So Jesse calls his sons, and the prophet Samuel is there getting ready to anoint the next king of Israel. So the next king of Israel is going to be one of these boys, because God had already told him, one of the guys at Jesse's house, one of his sons is going to be the next king. But all of his sons were rejected, but David was out in the field. All of the other brothers were all nice. They were really handsome and all of that. But now the 7 are here. Oh, great. Bathsheba's here. All right. So you're coming in. And so the first thing you're going to say when you walk in the door is,
"Here I am, Father."
okay. You stand at the beginning of the line. You look in amazement at each of your brothers, like, wow, they look so handsome and everything. And you're going to say,
"Look at my brothers, dressed already. My oldest brother,
Eliab,
Eliab, is
Eliab,
tall.
actually. Mhm.
Eliab is tall and handsome. He works for Saul's army, but he's always been bossy and has a lot to say."
He works for Saul's army.
Saul's army.
Yeah, but he has always been boss. He has a lot to say. Okay, so you're telling us about, this oldest brother. Okay, so you're going to look around and you're going to see Samuel the prophet sitting in a chair. Okay, so Samuel the prophet sitting there waiting to anoint who's going to be the next king, as he's waiting for God to tell him. Okay, so then you're going to say,
"I wonder why the prophet Samuel is here. My other two brothers, a Ben and Dad,
Abinadab,
Abinadab,
mhm,
and Shema,
Shammah,
Shema,
uh-huh.
they work for King Saul too."
Okay. All right. So you're going to turn around and look at the audience with his hands across his chest and bows his head as he stands and waits. Okay. So,
"I wonder why did my father call me? I'm just a shepherd boy." Samuel arise and walk slowly.
this is probably a mistake there on my part. That goes like that. Okay. So you're just going to say this line again.
"I wonder why did father call me? I'm just a shepherd boy."
I'm just a shepherd boy. I'm just a shepherd boy. Okay. So you're kind of wondering what's going on. All right. So Samuel's going to raise up, and I don't know how these came off, but I'll fix it. Okay. And every time he walks up to one of your brothers, he says no. He says no. He says no. Okay. So then you're going to say this, and I'm going to fix that. All right. But that's what you're going to say.
"Maybe one of my other 4 other brothers will get chosen."
Oh, I made a mistake there, but that's okay. One of my.
"I wonder what is happening."
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're wondering what's going on. All right, so he shakes his head, then he goes back to the chair, he goes and gets the oil, and he approaches you, David. So he's going to come to you, he's going to pour the oil, and his hands are down on either, your hands are down, his hands are down on either side. He's pouring, well, he's going to pour the oil, and then you're going to just stand there, and then you're going to be, there's a person that's going to play a harp. That was what that was. And that's going to be it. You're going to be anointed. And okay, here comes somebody else. Oh, good. My guest is here. All right. And then we're going to have that harp play. And then we've skipped to another scene on the stage because we had to kind of quickly put those together. We're going to set that apart. You're going to see King Saul next. He's dressed in a king's robe and he's twisting and turning because he has some bad spirits that are bothering him, but your instrument is going to help him calm down. Okay, so that's what this next piece is going to be. So I want you to read this part. And good evening to everybody who's just joining us. Okay.
I have been anointed. Anointed.
Uh-huh.
To be the next king of Israel.
Mm-hmm.
I love King Saul, and I will serve and fight for him just as I did the sheep. Thank you, Lord, for this day. I, David, will serve and follow.
Oh, I'm sorry if I confused you. Okay, that's where you are. I, David, this part right here.
I, David, will serve and follow your commands.
Okay, good, good. All right, so then you're going to hear another call from your father. Okay, now this is, I think I have kind of skipped something here, my script. But let's go ahead and read this and I'll explain it later. But go ahead and read that part because you are, this is another part of your line. Hold on, let me make sure. Where was I? Yeah, it was Saul's army. Okay, so let me break it up. I actually transcribed this from one other script, so that's why it's a little confusing there, but I'll work on that. Okay, just this part.
Yes, Father. I will take the grain and the 10 loaves to my brothers, and the cheese to
And
the
the cheese.
and the cheese to the captain to check on them.
Okay, so this is another part. It's like 3 different instances that are going to happen in this particular scene with you. So we'll have it set up on the stage and it'll be clearer once you kind of see how everything's going to be. All right. Okay, so this is the part where you're going to kill Goliath. Okay, so let's just go ahead and read these lines and then we'll work with you more with this particular scene. But this is kind of what's going on. All right, get this, read this line here.
Who is the Philistines who defies God's army?
You're going to say, who is this Philistine who defiles God's army? Okay, you're going to tough, you're going to stand up to him. Okay, all right, so then you're going to do that, and then next you're going to say,
He will not scare me. I will fight for my God.
excellent, excellent. And then you're going to say this last part almost. Okay, I see what happened. I accidentally pasted into the wrong spot. So just go ahead and read it. And when we get to your part, this will all be refixed again. I accidentally paste something into an area, but this is one of your lines. So go right ahead. Uh-oh. Oh.
Don't you understand?
Mm-hmm.
I have fought a lion and a bear. I can fight this loud-mouthed giant. Why do you think I am trying to show off? I know who my God is, and I can fight him.
Okay. Now, when you say that, you are talking to some people who are a little afraid of this giant. And so you're going to say this with force. Okay. So you're going to be like, you don't understand. I have fought a lion and a bear. I can fight this loudmouth giant. Okay. So you're going to say it with expression. All right. So let's say what this is. Next. Oh, did I lose him? Oh, okay. I think he dropped. Uh-oh. All right. So we'll come back to him. He should come back on. Oh, there he is. There you are. Oh, okay. You blanked out a little bit. Okay, go right ahead. Can you see it?
Yes,
Okay.
I will
All right.
fight. Yes, King, I will fight him. But
Okay.
you want me to put on this armor? He tries or oh.
Okay. And then you're going to try on the armor. Okay. Again, when I transcribed this, I think I accidentally stuck some of the lines into the wrong spaces, and that's why it's there. Okay. So we'll come back to this. Well, you're actually down to the end now. So go ahead and read this line. Okay.
It's too big, but I'll pick 5 smooth stones from the brook, and I'll
Brook.
use
A
the
brook.
sling, brook,
Uh-huh.
and I'll use the sling.
Okay, so that's when you'll pick it up and sling it, and it'll be sound effects and all that stuff. Okay, and then the last one is this one. This one, it's worded differently, but I got to fix it all because it misread. But go right ahead.
Why do you laugh? You come at me with a javelin,
Javelin.
javelin
Uh-huh.
and sword, but I come in the name of the Lord.
Okay, now you know that's a big part of this particular scene, right? David killing Goliath, that's a big thing. So when you deliver it, it's gonna have to be really big. I'm coming in the name of the Lord. Okay, so you're gonna project it real loud. Okay, all right. So we'll work on that once you rehearse, and then Goliath's gonna fall, and this is your last line.
Goliath is dead, and I, David, son of Jesus, have
Jesse.
son of Jesse, have seen God work for me.
Awesome. Okay. All right. So that's basically what you're going to do. A little bit of movement there. So we'll work with that, but that is your part. Okay. All right. It's a beautiful spring morning in Jerusalem. Minister Douglas, do you remember?
No, ma'am.
That's not what I want to hear.
No, man.
But I know it's been a minute and you've got quite a few lines, but I'm not gonna highlight like I did the young men. And by the way, thank you so much, guys, for reading. I'm so glad you guys are reading so well, and kudos to your parents for that. So I'm gonna go ahead and let now Minister Douglas is not in the 5th grade, so we're gonna just roll this as you read.
Well, I do have some difficulties.
Oh no.
It's not
All
okay,
right.
okay, let's
Herb, we're gonna get you as soon as Tyrone jumps on because I'm gonna have to have both of you reading together. So I'm thanking you for your patience, but we'll get you. Zipporah, are you there?
Yep, I'm here.
Yay! We got Bathsheba. This she time. Yay! Okay, so this is scene 5. Scene 5 is the intermission. Herb, there is a part at the very end of this scene. So we're gonna hear from you in this scene as well. So Pora, you're going to open up with scene 6. So scene 5, Minister Douglas, you can start right here.
Yes, ma'am. The Ammonites had no chance against my army. Joab and the boys, with the help of God, took care of business. Rabbah is now my city. Oh, my God, you have fulfilled your promise. From a child, I talked with you as I cared for my father's sheep. You helped me destroy Israel's enemy, Goliath, in front of my brothers, who also saw when Samuel anointed me for this very moment. God, you were with me as I served King Saul, who did not like me, but I honored him.
Okay.
I destroyed the Amalekites, and I lost my friend Jonathan, Saul's son, but I promised I would do something in his honor. And I did with his son, Mephibosheth. Is that right?
Mephibosheth.
Say it again.
Mephibosheth.
Mephibosheth. Okay. A crippled child who sits at my table.
And you can use Google to practice on that.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. You can actually get the pronunciation and all on there. So
I know it was that, and there was another name somewhere in here that was a couple. It was a couple different pronunciations in Google. That was a thing too. But okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. So you're gonna look out at the audience and
For some time I was in Hebron, Noah, Judah, where I became the father of 6 sons. Yes, 6. I became king of Hebron and all the people of Israel. And sort of. Oh, I fought the Jebusites.
there you go.
Capturing the fortress. It moved.
There you go. Sorry.
Oh, okay. After capturing the fortress of Zion, I conquered a strong army of the Philistines. They thought they had me, but God gave me another chance to take them out, and I struck them down. So,
Awesome.
Oh, but how I remember how we rejoiced. We rejoiced. We rejoiced when I wanted to bring back the ark of God from Amminadab's house to the city of David. But as we tried to move it, the oxen stumbled, and his son Josiah touched it to keep it steady. God was angered and he struck the man dead. I became angry. So we left the ark at Obadiah's household. It stayed for 3 months. Start dancing. But we went back and continued our journey to move the ark to the city of David. We rejoiced. We rejoiced, and I rejoiced as my wife, Michal, Saul's daughter, gazed at me from her window. After I blessed the people, I returned home, and Michal met me at the door, ashamed of what she saw. I told her I would praise my God without shame. She despised my word. God did not allow her to conceive. I even conquered Moab, the birthplace of my great-grandmother Ruth. Now, when I left Hebron, I took concubines and wives and became a father of 11 more sons and daughters. I am now 30 years of age and king of Jerusalem, just as it was promised to me through a vision given to Nathan the prophet. I wanted to build a house for God, but God told Nathan to tell me this.
Okay, and that's the recording. All right, after that's done, then
the Lord has spoken. And I did become famous with gold and silver and bronze given to me by kings. Even my sons served as priestly leaders. And I bless the name of the Lord.
okay, another recording, and
I guess I'll go and enjoy the sunshine as I take a break from my many conquests.
then the
What
famous
do
saying.
I see? I have seen many women in my day, but this woman I must have. I will tell my servant to bring her to me.
All right, dash out. Okay, Herb, this is where we come back to you and Tyrone with your line.
In other words, we'll see you after a 10-minute intermission.
Yep, there you go. So that's when we're going to go into intermission. Tyrone will do that. That's a wrap, and we'll talk about that. We'll go to intermission. All right, let's jump on over to the second act, and that will be Bathsheba Speaks. Zipporah, you ready?
I'm ready.
All right now. Okay. I don't know why my thing is like that, but anyway.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. I hear you great. All right. Let's start.
Oh, my dearest Uriah, my true love. Only God knows how I feel. This was our home. This was our home. Why? Why is this my portion with that king? Ugh, God.
Why is my true love gone away from me? Gone! Uriah! Uriah! My body was preparing for our time together. Purification. Purification. I was here, ready for you as you fought for the kingdom. You were committed to me and to your assignment, but not, what? But now, is that but now you're taken away?
Yeah.
Okay. But now you were taken away from me. My darling Uriah. We talked in our home. We ate together in our home. We lived and we loved in our home. And now it's gone, gone. The king has won again, but this time in his flesh and not by his sword. My heart is broken. My heart is broken. Once I was a woman loved and adored. Now I am a woman uncovered without honor. How will I live? Uriah, you knew me and I knew you. This is a dark day with the gift of death packaged to my soul. Uriah, take your rest. Take your rest, my love. There shall never, ever be another so faithful as you were, as I shed these tears with regret. Oh, wait, more? Sorry. I'm so dramatic. I now carry the king's child, the child that should have been for us to carry together. But as I am now, succumb to the king's rule, I shall always treasure your love, my love, our love. I, Bathsheba, now belong to King David.
Woo! My God. All right, all right. I am very satisfied. So thank you so much. The transition from the first portion and into this last portion is you've kind of released it. So now you're transitioning into Bathsheba, the wife of David. And that's kind of the tone that you want to give, that you're no longer necessarily, before you're lamenting, you're getting it out, but now you're saying, okay, because potentially the king could have killed you if you rejected him. So you kind of had to do what he said, you know. You'll transition from being angry to now saying, this is my new normal. This is my new life. So keep that in mind as you're doing.
So less attitude. So I'm like,
right. You're just kind of riding into it. You're kind of accepting it because you're pregnant, or it's revealed now that you're pregnant, and you're now saying, okay, this is my new normal, and this is where I am now.
Okay, so kind of like, so she pauses and she's like, I now carry the king's child, the child that should have been for us to carry together. But as I now succumb to the king's rule, I shall always treasure your love, my love, our love. I, Bathsheba, now belong to King David.
Perfect. That's it. Yeah, that's it. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. And also, I am going to bring you in at the end when Johnny does. And by the way, you know Johnny Dearborn, he's going to do Senior David. I'm going to bring you in so that you can be seen, because there's a part that he mentions you in there as well. So we're going to bring you in, but there's no speaking part there. You're just going to appear.
All right.
Okay. All right. Let's keep moving. Boston's breakdown. Okay, I can't wait for you guys to do that, because that's going to be the serious part. And since you're on, Herb, we're probably going to run through your lines, but let me get Johnny first. And then that will be a wrap for tonight. Hopefully Tyrone will come on within that time. Okay, Johnny, you ready?
I don't know. You be going too fast, and I can't hardly see.
Okay, let me see. Okay, I got to push this down. I think I transitioned this from one place to another, and I think I accidentally okay. So
I
you're
did print
starting.
it out though again.
Okay, good. All right, so this is where you're going to start right here. I owe everything to you, God, and then you'll just go from there. And I promise I won't go so fast. All right, I'm ready.
Okay. I owed everything to you, God, my Father, my life, my accomplishment, the ups and the downs, my children. Ah, my children. God blessed me with many children. 6 was born while I was in Hebron. I don't know how to pronounce these words, so I'm gonna get these names right.
Oh, yeah.
Aman.
I've actually written them in the way that they're pronounced. So when you get time, you may want to research that and put it in Google. It'll give you the pronunciation.
Yeah, okay, I'll do that. So we're gonna skip those names for now.
Yeah.
11 more.
Amnon, Caleb, Absalom,
Absalom.
Adonijah, Zephaniah, and Ephraim.
Okay. 11,
Something like
11, 11 more came later
that.
while
Okay.
in Jerusalem.
Ow.
But my son, what's that? Is that
Jedediah.
Jedediah or
Yeah.
Should that be a B or a D?
It's a J, I think, in the
No,
Bible, but you can.
J-E, is that J-E dash D or J-E
Yes,
dash
that's correct.
Jedediah?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Let me go back to the 11 more came later while in Jerusalem. But my son, Jedediah,
Mm-hmm.
or as to me and my wife, Bathsheba named him Solomon. Was God's, okay, Bathsheba named him Solomon, was God's beloved.
Okay, you're gonna wrap yourself in your robe and then go from there.
My troubles began with my children after I sinned greatly against God.
Mm-hmm.
Amnon committed,
yes.
Amnon
Mm-hmm.
committed a hideous sin against our, wait a minute, sin against,
His
should
own
that be
sister. I'm
his
sorry.
own?
Yeah, it should be his own.
Okay. Amnon committed a hideous sin against his own sister.
Yeah.
And after, see you moving,
Okay.
so.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
And after 2 years,
Mm-hmm.
his brother Absalom
Mm-hmm.
took the life of his brother Amnon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I grieved. I grieved for my son Absalom when he fled to Jeshurun for 3 years, and I did not see him.
Mm-hmm.
When he was finally convinced to return to Jerusalem, oh, I remember that day. He bowed down and kissed him, and I kissed him. But then he turned on me.
Mm.
He won the hearts of many people by pretending to be on their side when they came to plead their case. He kissed their hand and sent them away. And then 4 years later, after his return, he asked if they could go back to Hebron, his birthplace,
Mm-hmm.
to make a sacrifice to the Lord and to fulfill a vow. I said yes. But he sent secret messengers to tell all the tribes of Israel to stir up a rebellion against me. 200 men, yes, 200 men went with them from Jerusalem. He said to them, when he blows the horns, when he blows the ram's horn, he has been crowned king of Hebron. Or
Hebron.
Hebron, okay.
Mhm.
Yes, many joined him,
Mhm.
but I decided it was best to escape from Jerusalem. After my long travels and many other encounters, I gathered enough strength to organize troops to fight my own son and his men. His hair was very long, and during the battle, while he was riding a mule, it was trapped in a tree. And so he laid there hanging. When some of my men heard about it, they wanted to make sure he was gone. My son died by
Good.
the sword of Nathan,
Mhm.
the prophet, were being fulfilled.
Hold on. Say this again and then start from there
Okay.
again.
My son died by the sword.
Let's do that. Okay.
The words of Nathan, the
There you go.
prophet. Okay, I mispronounced it. Okay. The word of Nathan, the prophet, were being fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
My son, Absalom, the son of revenge.
Okay.
I
Right.
returned to Jerusalem.
Mm-hmm.
I returned to Jerusalem as king once again. My God spared me once again, but now I am old and my body cannot stay warm. I was sent a young lady to help me.
Okay. So we have a young lady, which was Romeo's sister last time, and we'll have a young girl to come out and she's going to put a blanket around you. Okay, keep going.
Okay. One day, as I was being cared for, my wife Bathsheba entered the room to tell me that my son, Adonijah,
Adonijah. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
had declared he was going to be the next king after Absalom's death. Nathan the prophet came in later and confirmed. He had already told me that my own flesh and blood would build the temple to God and not me. Solomon was that promised son.
Mm-hmm.
Now was the time to hear. Excuse me, let me do it again. Now was the time. That's a typo
There you
somewhere.
go. There you
Okay.
go.
Now was the time for him to become the next king.
Mm-hmm.
I, David, spent 40 years as king, 7 in Hebron,
Mm-hmm.
and 33 in Jerusalem.
You're going to reach slowly over and you're going to pick up your crown. Okay. And then this is the last part for you.
Nathan the prophet and Zadok the priest took Solomon to Gihar Springs,
Yes.
anointed him among the people. And when they blew the horn, when they blew the ram's horn, they declared him king over Israel and Judah.
Judah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. My son, King Solomon, the promised child of redemption. I gave him final instruction before I took my last breath.
The young lady's gonna help you up. You've been sitting for this whole time. And then there's going to be a recording while you walk off the stage. And that's going to be pre-recorded, so you don't have to remember that. Okay, wonderful.
Okay.
All right, great job. We'll work on areas to emphasize and all of that when we get into doing in-person rehearsals. Very good. Okay, the last one will be Boston and Terry. That will be the closeout, and that will be the end. Any questions so far from those of you that have done your parts? Very good. Okay, did everybody receive? I don't think I sent everybody a script, but it will be sent to you so you can practice more. The tentative date for the play will be February 28th or March the 1st, which is a Friday or Saturday. So it will depend on the final word from the venue. I'm between two of them, and whoever has the better price, that's what we're gonna go with. So, so that's what we're negotiating, but those are the tentative dates, February. So you guys have a part of November, a part of December, and then of course all of January, and then of course all of February, and we should be good to go. I'm going to allow Herb to go ahead and do his lines, and I'll be the other person. Hopefully Tyrone will jump in by then. So Herb, we're going to turn the cameras on to you, and we'll start out with your part. Herb plays Boston Jones. Now, what we did is the first part that we just did were all of the Bible parts. That's the historic part. Herb and Tyrone are going to do the modern day part, which they're going to be two podcasters, and they're going to be doing a show, and then we're going to flip in between while they're talking to the lines that you all just did. So we're going to go ahead and start with Terry Talks. That will be Tyrone, a lively ultra urban disc jockey and newest podcaster on the Gimme Live social media site. Opens his brand new show with his co-host Boston Jones, a conservatively slightly outspoken announcer. All right, Terry's part is, you know what time it is. Time to talk with me, Terry Davis, and introducing my sidekick, my longtime brother from another mother, it's Boston.
Privileged to be back with you, my brother. It has been a journey.
Boom, they give a bump. Nobody but God, you know, in all of our ways, we acknowledge him, and the path was made. Here we are.
That's right.
Listen, first, we want to thank God for all things possible, but we want to also thank our main sponsor, Gimme Live Networks, for all of the support.
And let's thank our listeners for following us. Like and share so we can tell your friends what to do when you're too afraid to tell them.
Oh, well, that's true to an extent. Let's just say we're very open on this Christian platform, but we're very open on this Christian platform, but still may have to fasten your seatbelts. Let me just say this about Boston. He's bold, so man, I'm going to apologize for you in advance.
No need. I want to apologize for not saying enough in the past. I really think in some cases we're too quiet, but I'll keep it cool. I will keep it cool.
Boston, that's a good lead to what I'm excited to discuss now. I know you like a good challenge, and so do I. And some of our listeners do too. Hey, man, hold on. I see some comments from the chat. He's going to read some comments. We're going to bring some comments up on the screen.
Okay.
Yep,
Guys, thank you for the comments. Okay.
Absolutely. So now we have your attention. We thought a good Bible challenge would be fun, but you know, Boston, I haven't been a good Bible reader. But since I started going back to church, you know, it speaks to me. What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts?
Well, you know, the jury is still out on this one here. Some things in the Bible I still think are a bit out of date.
Oh.
I mean, who still gives a tenth of their earning to this economy? I mean, whoa, listen to me now. Hold on now. I haven't been to a wedding in the last 10 years that the marriage didn't work. I'm still seeking relevancy.
Come on, man. Boston, you make some interesting points, but I just got to say sometimes I question some of the stuff in the big book too, but I still find some of the stories fascinating and I try to make them relate to me.
Typical churchgoer. But I'm open to see what story we discussed earlier. Let me see right here. Let me flip this page over here. Aha! This one sounds interesting.
Yeah, we're going to do a daily reading. We're doing a daily reading on an Old Testament character, David. I mean, you can't find a character in the Bible more exciting from the beginning to the end, other than Jesus Christ himself.
My main question is to discover how can an Old Testament character relate to me personally? Didn't he keep sheep? I don't know any shepherds other than Psalms 23.
And maybe this challenge is good for you because you don't know Bible.
Okay, my funny Pharisee. I don't know the Bible, but I'm glad to accept the challenge to learn about this character. However, I do know David was a shepherd.
True, Boston, and a lot of people, especially young people, they read, but they don't study. So we'll do a deep dive to see how it applies to us today. How's that sound?
Fair enough. And we will have prizes at the end, so study, and we will have prizes at the end of the study, so you need to tune in.
All right, now, Boston, I'm a little nervous.
Nervous?
Because now I got to find some scriptures on giving. Man, you just opened another can of worms online talking about tithing. Let's look at the comments. Jay Whippet just put in the chat that a group of his podcast friends are all having an all-out debate on that topic.
You're welcome.
Well, sorry we got derailed, but it's Boston's fault. The story of David starts when he was young. Now, do you remember being young?
Oh, I'm older. I got to think back farther than you. Do you remember being funny? Do you remember being funny? Because I am not hearing you right now, but we have some young listeners that might like to hear how David was a kid who became a shepherd.
All right, let's check it out. Let's check it out, and then we'll go into Kendall's part. Okay. All right, so that's how we'll go from there. Very good, very good. All right, so we'll go into the next part for you, which will be scene 3. We're back in the studio. All right, so Terry starts out. So that little shepherd boy was in preparation for his next big challenge. David seemed a bit anxious and he had a lot of skill. What's your thoughts?
Yep. Young, carefree, just like me. You know, I was tough like that too, until I met Tisha.
Oh, do tell, do tell.
Well, if it will help the listeners, there was this young lady I met. I hope her boyfriend, I hope her boyfriend isn't listening.
Don't tell me. That's not the girl you showed me on Facebook.
Just hold on. I think I thought she was a good match. At least I hope she was.
Is Boston giving us a confession moment, man? I think I hear something in your voice and a little twitch in that left eye.
Yeah, sometimes our childhood brings some scars and bad memories.
Trust me, David had his share of issues, especially as he got older. His own father forgot him in the field when it was time for a priest named Samuel to anoint the next king. His brothers looked the part, but God had other plans.
Other plans, huh?
Yeah, God wins. God's way wins every time. Yeah, like this young lady you speak of, but I see here. All right, Maria, I'm switching over to the chat here. Maria, who just put in the chat, and Maria's actually going to say these words. That's why they're in red. And she's going to say that. All right, then we say, thanks, Maria. Now, that's a solid word right there, Boston. So what happened?
Yeah, I'll find peace.
Man, let's tell more of David's story, and I'll find out more about this before the show is over. What did you do about this, Tisha? All right, so then we'll go into David being a teenager. All right, so he does that. Okay, we'll move along into the next thing. Okay. Scene 5, that is his. I know I'm driving everybody crazy with all this spinning around, but anyway. Okay, boss's breakdown, scene 7. All right, Terry. But this what he's recycling what he said. But this woman I must have. Man, David was bid hard.
True, true. Hey, I took the time to read a little ahead.
Okay, did Tisha do this to you? This is amazing.
And I think I understand the meanings of God faithfulness to us, even when we don't do what we should willingly or unwillingly. Can I have a few minutes to share?
I'd be a fool if I said no. You actually read the Bible. I'm feeling demure right now.
Well, okay. Well, look. Now, what moved my curiosity is how God will handle David. Even through the prophet Nathan revealed his sin, but I kept reading. And when I got to Psalms 51, I began to think about my own sins. I thought I should read it from the Message Bible for our young listeners, especially.
All right, so we're gonna put some little music in the background. You're gonna get a little poetic here. So,
Okay.
all right. Okay, so
Fallen David appears and lands on his knees.
I'm actually gonna
Not that right there.
yeah.
Okay.
So you're gonna start here.
Okay. Oops, sorry. Generous. Oh, right there, right there. Generous in love, God, give grace. Huge in mercy, wipe out my bad record. Scrub away my guilt. Soak out my sins in your laundry. I know how bad I've been. My sins are staring me down. You're the one I've violated. And you've seen it all, seen the full extent of my evil. You have all the facts before you. Whatever you decide about me is fair. I've been out on a step with you for a long time, in the wrong since before I was born. What you're after is truth from the inside out into me, then conceive a new true life. Soak me in your laundry and I'll come out clean. Scrub me and I'll have a snow white life. Tune me into foot tapping songs. Set these once broken bones to dancing. Don't look to close my four blemishes. Give me a clean bill of health. God, make a fresh start in me. Shape a Genesis week from the chaos of my life. Don't throw me out with the trash or fail to breathe holiness in me. Bring me back from great exile. Put a fresh wind into my sails. Give me a job teaching rebels your way so the lost can find their home. Commute my death sentence. God, my salvation, God. I'll sing anthems to your life-giving ways. Unbutton my lips, dear God, and let loose your praise. Going through the motions doesn't please you. A flawless performance is nothing to you. I've learned God worship when my pride was shattered, heart shattered, lies, ready for love. Don't for a moment escape God's notice. Make Zion the place you delight in. Repair Jerusalem's broken down walls. Then you'll get a real worship from us. Acts of worship, small and large, including all the bulls they can heave until your altar. You see, Tisha and I had a relationship, but I left her and had my share of other women, only to find out that she was pregnant with our child. She lost a baby, but I never apologized to her for being so insensitive.
But that was long ago.
Yes, but after I read the story, I stopped by the store to get some dinner, and all the while I was standing at the deli, a familiar voice spoke to me. I turned around and it was Tisha.
What? No, wow.
We talked for a few minutes, and I apologize.
Ladies and gentlemen, my mission has been accomplished. Boston has truly read the Bible, but there's more to the story regarding David. David, when he became a senior, he reflected on his life and how God had been so good to him. He committed a great sin, but David was truly a man after God's own heart. And so we'll go into the senior David. We may add a little more dialogue in there so that you two can interact after that, because that's such a heavy part, or a heavy transition, if you will. So we'll may add some at the end, but great job before then. And of course, Tyrone will know how to ad lib in there on that in between with the expressions, a lot of nonverbals in there. So he'll put that in and that will connect a little bit better. So other than that, great reading, great reading. Okay, let's go on to the last one. And that will be it for tonight. And okay, this was kind of short. All right, back in the studio, Terry, we are wrapping up on this contest on the story of David. I don't know about you, but I had a blast just talking about it.
Yeah, it was a sobering and it was sobering and a story that reminds you of God's grace and mercy. God loves us so much, even when we're doing wrong, his righteousness makes us right.
Let's look at a few people who also enjoyed this 2-day adventure. We're going to read a couple of comments. We're actually going to get some original comments from the audience. So
Okay.
you're going to actually be able to read the comments. So you kind of interact with the audience at that time.
Okay.
And then you're going to wrap up with.
That's cool. That's cool. And we thank everyone for listening and dropping a chat. So before we end this podcast, I want to announce tonight's sponsors.
Okay, so you guys are going to do that. You're going to do the sponsors, and then I'll have Terry to say. And finally, we like to announce the producer, writer, director, play, Ms. Cherie Roberts. I'll come out and introduce the cast, and we'll close out from there. So if we want to do something fancy, we can do that. But that's going to wrap it up for our table read tonight. Does anyone have any questions for me? I am going to get in touch with everyone individually so that we can talk. And Bo, are you still on?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. Guys, we have Bo Harris. He is on with us. Bo has been listening in tonight. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for coming on. He is an independent filmmaker right here in Jacksonville, formerly a journalist, photojournalist for both First Coast News as well as Action News. And I asked him if he would please come and listen in. He has a movie that is out right now on Tubi called A Mother's Hope. I want everyone to tune in, watch the movie, and, give him your feedback. Tell him how much you enjoyed it. It's really good. And I'm hoping that at some point, who knows, some of you may be able to become a cast member or something in a future project or whatever. So thank you, Bo. Do you have any comments for us? Anything you want to say regarding I, David, the podcast?
I was just trying to get a feel of what was going on. I thought it was pretty nice, really good. I mean, once you guys get, rehearsals and put it together, it should be a really nice thing.
Okay. All right. So once we get the others, I think we're just missing Tyrone, and he had to work, so he wasn't able to come on. So I think everybody else pretty much came, and I thank you for coming in pretty timely so that we were able to get through the script. But once we get it, maybe you can come on when we do one in person, and you can kind of see the interactions there and give us some tidbits maybe on how we could set up the backdrops and all that stuff to make it really interactive. So again, A Mother's Hope is the name of the movie. And I want you all to continue to work on your lines. Again, I'm going to contact everyone individually with your contracts and let you know what to expect from these next couple of days. My next rehearsal will meet with Herb and Tyrone first. Monday, October 14th is the date for that. And then I'm going to get with everybody else individually for now. Expect January to be times where we're all going to meet together because we need to run through this kind of really fluently. But for October, for November and December, I can kind of individually work with you all to get you sharpened. And then by the time January comes, you guys are flowing and we just piece it together. Okay. The tentative dates are February 28th or March the 1st. February 28th or March the 1st is the date for the play. Okay. All right. Any other questions? Everybody good with their parts?
Well, Kendi had a question. She popped up on the,
Oh,
but
okay.
you didn't respond. I didn't know what the question was. She just said I had a question.
Okay. Okay. I did see your hand. I'm sorry. I was trying to get everybody time to be able to read through what they needed. Kendi, you still have, was that Kendall or Kendi?
Me.
Kendi.
Okay.
Where is the where what is, are we gonna do it at a theater or like
We're between two places. And once I decide which one, and again, it always comes down to dollars and cents. We want to see who's going to give us the most for the least, if you will. So we're going to go with either of those two places, and we'll go from there and I'll let you know. Hopefully by the time I meet with you next time, you'll know where it's going to be and the time and all of that.
Okay, thank you.
Well, thank you. All right, guys. Have a great week. Be safe from that storm, and we'll catch you on the other side. Bo, I'm going to give you a call in just a few minutes. All right.
Okay.
Good night,
Thanks.
Everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye.